Since he's a professional, I also try to be professional without asking unnecessary questions. Brief statements, short questions, whatever I need to know, whatever's essential.
Did he make a good impression on you?
He won me over with his approach and composure.
Those girls think they'll return to Poland with a lot of money. They think they'll get rich, but are unaware they're on their way to a brothel. They don't know what'll happen to them, or that they'll get hooked on drugs or lose their freedom. And you know what I felt while recruiting those girls? I didn't give a shit about those girls and their kids. All I cared about was the money. The adoption of a child is carried through in such a way that the girl gets married to an Arab, a Muslim. The Muslim law allows marrying even underage girls. Then he gets to adopt the child. He takes the child away to his country, a Muslim one, in a legit way. In Muslim countries, papers are easy to get. For 50 local dollars, you can get any document you want. Changing the first or last name is not a problem, and so any trace of the child is lost.
What then?
They go to Egypt for a couple of days. They get new papers through some formal correction of the name and the last name in a matter of hours. And the child returns as a completely different person. It returns to Europe, to the brothel, and no one is ever looking for that child again. The trace is lost. A child had left. It had a name and a last name, and a different person came back to Europe later.
And the mother?
She goes to a brothel in Europe.
What does it look like when they bring you kids for sale from Ukraine?
When a child comes from Ukraine, it gets new papers here in Poland. These are another child's papers with an identical ID. Only the photo of the imported kid is swapped, and practically the trace is lost here. The child goes abroad with its new Polish ID.
So you need the ID in case of inspection?
Yes, while crossing the border. Just in case.
Then there are no more problems, because the real child stays in Poland while the other one is officially non-existent.
Yes.
And what happens with kidnapped children?
Children are kidnapped only in urgent cases. If there's an emergency, someone got ill, there's a problem, and an urgent transplant is needed, that's when kidnapping takes place.
Why is kidnapping so rare?
Because it's dangerous. Dangerous for the organization. It doesn't pay to keep a kidnapped child in a brothel. Because things may happen, and there may be trouble. It would be a total disaster if such a kid was found.
What's the difference whether they find a kidnapped or a regular child in a brothel? Because you may pretend it's not really a brothel?
No one is going to admit it's a brothel. But there's a difference. Because if the child is being searched for by Interpol, it's a serious shit. But you can always account for a regular child. Whether the child has been adopted and went through the adoption process with an Arab father, or in any other way. Rather than admitting the child's been sold or kidnapped. The client doesn't have to come to the brothel in his own car. He is brought there. The meeting spot is established earlier. It's different with different clients. Even the clients can't see each other. It happens that they even tear infants apart with their dicks. The baby dies.
In that room, yes?
Yes, in that room. The moment the client informs he wants to kill the child, a whole group is immediately set up to pick up the organs. We schedule it so that everything overlaps, so that we have a recipient ready. Whatever can we say?
Is the child still alive when it's being taken to the operating room?
It's done on the spot in the villa.
Is that where the organs are retrieved?
Yes, there's a special sterile room there. When they torture those children, the children get broken. Their arms get broken. Their legs get pulled out of the hips. They often get beaten up. Torn apart. Organs, buttholes.
Do you mean those little babies get their legs pulled out?
Yes.
So it's sadism.
Yes, sadism. Infants always suffer. They all do. Later, that child is useless.
Do you ever